The Commentary Booth is a show for media lovers by media lovers just like you. If you want to support the show, go to pariomagazine.com.au. Welcome to the Commentary Booth, where we watch, and you guessed it, commentate on the week that was in movies and TV. I'm your host and play-by-play commentator, Jamie Apps, and each week I'm joined by a rotating cast of colour commentators to help you find your next viewing treat. This week I'm joined by a DJ who lists their favourite movie as The Gentleman and favourite TV show as Parks and Rec. Welcome to the show, the Marathon Man, Jaxon Carr.
This could be my last ever episode, considering I'm running a marathon next Sunday. So I could just collapse and no longer be here. So yes, hello. How are you today?
I'm good. How's the training going, given all the ridiculous amount of rain we've had over the last month and a half?
Yeah, the rain hasn't really helped. The fact I've been DJing heaps hasn't really helped either. I've been drinking a bit too much, but they say when you're leading up to a marathon, you need to taper off and stop running as much. So that's the logic I'm going with.
Okay. Yep. We can spin it that way.
Yeah. That's what they say. So these experts say you got to taper off. So that's what I'm doing. So I'll probably go for one more run this week and then off to Canberra on Saturday for the race on Sunday, and then back to Sydney Monday for the Maryvale staff party. So that'll be fun.
How's the forecast looking? Is it going to be a decent weather up down that way, or?
I don't like to look at weather until a day or two before the case, because it always changes, and I really love the cold, so I don't really mind if it's cold in Canberra as long as it's not rainy. I'll be happy.
Yeah, I guess you are probably one of the only people that's going to be like, if it's cold, this is good for me.
Oh yeah,
better than a 40-degree marathon.
Oh, that'd be gross. Oh,
you've done City to Surf, yeah?
Yeah, City Surf's 14 Ks. I've run a bunch of half marathons, which is 21 Ks, but a full marathon is 42 kilometers. So
Jesus,
the furthest I've ever run is 26 Ks. So I still have 16 to go after that. So
as long as you keep in mind, let's pace myself and not go at my 21-kilometer pace the whole time.
Oh,
you should be fine.
No, I'm going to have to fully pace myself. But I've heard you get good adrenaline throughout it and stuff. So, and obviously because you're around all these other runners, so it'll be good. And it'll be a nice achievement to say that I've done. And then at least for the next one, I'll probably take it more seriously and train a bit more rather than just fall off the wagon and party a lot for the past few weeks.
And what's the course like? Is it Canberra? It's not going to be incredibly hilly, is it?
Nah, it's pretty flat, and you run around the lake with the Parliament and stuff. So I'm going to do a vlog on it, of course. So, and then I'm staying at a
Monday.
Yeah, and then I'm staying at a bougie hotel that night because my friend works for this hotel group, and he got me half price, so it's a bit of a reward for me.
Sweet, should be good. Good weekend.
Yeah. And I'll watch the Sharks win that afternoon because we're on fire at the moment. So yeah, good weekend.
Yeah, how good are the Sharks going?
We're going to win the comp.
Yeah, I feel like we've got a good chance. They're playing so well.
Yeah. It'll be a test in 2 weeks when we play Melbourne, but yeah, I'm feeling confident.
Yep. Yeah, with your marathon, Buddy did a cystic fibrosis fun run thing that was 65 kilometers, and they were cooked. They were cooked at the end of that.
Oh. 65? Nah, that's a big no for me. I think 42 is going to be my limit. So, 65.
They started out walking and just we're just going to take our time and we're going to use the entire day to do it. And then I think they got to halfway and were like, no, it's too painful to walk. We had to run. So at least you're running the entire time.
Yeah, we hope so.
So yeah, this week we've gone full Marvel blockbusters. 2 big movies. A big movie and the next phase of the Disney TV Marvel series. which one do you want to start with? We're going to go with Moon Knight, or are we going to go with Morbius first?
I feel we should just get Morbius out of the way because that made Uncharted look half decent for me. Like I did not enjoy it. I fell asleep in it. I didn't really know what was going on. I started betting on horses. Like I've never been more disinterested in a Marvel movie or like a movie in a long time. Like it was just painful. So painful. Like gave me Suicide Squad 1 vibes of how painful it was.
Even like as a Sony Marvel movie, it was horrible. Like it's worse than Venom 1, and I kind of didn't enjoy Venom 1. Venom 2 was...
I love Venom.
Venom 2 was an upgrade on Venom 1, but then this one is below all that.
Do not waste your time on this movie. It's just... It's not funny. It's slow. It's not... I don't know how they butchered it. Like... And it's not even a good butcher. Like, you go and get some pork chops and sausages from your local butcher. It's literally, like, horrible. Like,
Yeah, especially when they're promoting it as a new Marvel legend joins the lineup, and like it's a super powered vampire. How do you not make that at least cool?
Yeah, 100%. Like I'm not into vampire stuff, but I thought, okay, I'll give this one a chance. It should be good. It's Marvel. They don't really miss the mark a lot on the back of how big Spider-Man was and how good like the TV shows are going. I'm like, okay, they're continuing on their role. But now it's just like, after how good Batman was, like I think DC and with everything they've got planned now, we're just going to go, oh, screw it.
Oh, they've definitely, like, in my opinion, they've gone past Sony at this point. Like, the only good Sony Marvel movies now are Spider-Man. And then that's kind of only because Marvel proper is making sure that those are good movies. They're not, they don't want Spider-Man ruined because he's like one of the biggest characters in the world.
Yeah, big time. I just can't deal with it. Like, I had these notes that I want to talk about, but like, it's horrible. Like, it's horrible. Like, Jared Leto is just gone from this. I think he's a very hot and cold actor, and this was cold. This is like Canberra cold, like, but not in a good way. So yeah, no, this was a big miss from me.
Yeah, I feel like when he's given a serious role that he's really invested in, he's fantastic. But then when he's kind of just, I guess it's bad to say, but like he's taking the role for the money, he just checks out and just does the bare minimum and gets through it with whatever. And this one, like, it's been delayed 6 times. It was due out originally on July 10, 2020, and has now only just come out. So after 6 delays, how at some point does somebody not go, this isn't good. Like, we need to do a lot of work and reshoots and fix this. But clearly they were just like, good enough.
Maybe because of the delays, they were just like, okay, we just got to force this out. Like, and enough's enough. Like, maybe they were just delaying it because they're like, oh, this is bad. We know this is going to be bad. And then they're like, you know what? We're going to have to bite the bullet and get it out. So
we're just going to release it on April Fool's Day and just be like, it is what it is.
This is our big April Fool's prank.
Sony's April Fool's prank. I found out too that this movie they released the first trailer for this movie before Spider-Man No Way Home even started production.
Really? Oh my.
So they put a trailer out for this, and in the time that it took to finally hit the cinemas, they filmed, edited, did all the CG and post-production, and released Spider-Man before they put this one out. Like, that's bad.
Yeah, wow. I wonder what would have happened if this was released before Spider-Man and if Spider-Man would have been as popular, or some people might have just been like, oh, Sony are messing up Marvel again. Let's maybe be a bit hesitant, or it wouldn't have started as strong. But then obviously once the reviews came in, people would see it. But it's interesting to think about that type of timeline for, Yeah,
I guess just because people know Spider-Man is being held by MCU proper, I think it still would have been up there. And Spider-Man is such a beloved character, whereas Morbius was like, I have no attachment to this guy. I don't know his story. So do something cool, and they didn't do anything cool.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Like, just watching this, it felt like there's all these plot points that go through the movie, but nothing felt earned or special when it finally hit that point. And it was kind of like somebody just read the script, like an executive read the script, pulled out the major dot points, and were like, as long as we hit these, that's all that matters. All of this other filler stuff can be cut out. And for a movie that's an hour 45, it moves quickly through all those moments. But yeah, like I said, nothing feels earned. Like, the romance angle didn't feel like it built to anything substantial. All of the, like, it begins, he's finding the bats, and then he all of a sudden is injecting himself with the bats. And it's just like we've just got these dot points and we've just got to hit them, and we don't care how we get there. As long as we hit all of these points, whatever happens at the end happens at the end.
Yeah, that's absolutely spot on with the way I saw it. And like, I don't know, it's just not. I'm disappointed. I wasted my Saturday afternoon watching that. I mean, I enjoyed a good nap, but yeah, that wasn't an ideal way. Maybe I should watch it again the night before the marathon, so I know I'll fall asleep and get a good night's sleep. So at least I can do that.
Yep. And was the cinema busy?
Nah, I wasn't too busy, to be honest, because it was like 4:30 on a Saturday afternoon. So, and the weather was good on the weekend, I think. Yeah, weather was good on the weekend, so it wasn't that busy. So like, I've seen like 4 or 5 Facebook statuses from people just saying how bad it is. So I think word is getting around that it's a no, and people are like, okay, I don't really want to go rush to see this.
Yep. Yeah, like I've heard of 2 or 3 people in the States that went and saw it either the day it opened or the day after it opened, and there was no one in the cinema. They had the entire cinema to themselves. I'm like, that's not a good sign.
Yeah, I think there was like 3 or 4 other people in it, and 2 of them even left early.
Oh, yeah, that's bad.
Yeah.
Especially after they spent, what was the budget for this? $75 million was the final budget. And after that opening couple of days, so Thursday, Friday, Saturday, they'd made 17.1 million with a final projection for the weekend at 38, which I think they might have struggled to hit. I'm not sure how close they got to that. So not a great sign. Like, they'd barely made back half of their investment. And with the movies coming up in the next 3 or 4 weeks, I see they're having a very sharp drop off in box office revenue, because we've got Sonic just came out, Fantastic Beasts next week, The Northman the week after, Doctor Strange the week after that.
Oh, when's Doctor Strange?
Yeah,
it's
it's
my favorite.
Just over a month away.
Oh,
so like they've got
May 5. Oh, yeah.
They have 4 weeks to try and get another $30-something million, and with everything we're saying, with everything everybody else is saying, why would you go and spend $20 to go and see this when you could go and see Sonic or Harry Potter? Yeah. Or just wait for the big Marvel one that you know is going to be good.
Yeah. Or just wait for this to go onto Disney Plus, which will go very quickly. I reckon that won't be in cinemas for too long, and they'll just be like, oh man.
Yeah, but then I don't know if Sony will put it on Disney Plus. Like, I'm not sure what the Sony deals are, whether they put them on there, because I don't think Spider-Man's not on there yet. I think they go to Netflix.
Oh, I think Spider-Man was on Netflix. Yeah, that's right. Spider-Man.
Like, it's a very weird situation with Marvel and Sony movies.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
Like, I think Venom's on Netflix as well.
Yeah, I think so. Venom.
So yeah,
weird
situation.
I'm just going to Just Watch, my favorite website, to find out where everything is. Streaming guide. They should sponsor this podcast, I reckon.
They really should. I've tried.
Let's talk about it. Yeah, Venom. Oh, it's not on anything. You have to pay for it.
You have to rent it, of course.
Yeah.
They won't even give it away.
Yeah. I liked it though. Maybe because Tom Hardy was in it. He's like my ultimate man crush, but maybe I'm biased with that.
Yeah.
Spider-Man is on binge on Netflix. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Yeah, like, I'm not sure where this will end up, and I even said to someone, when it hits streaming services, like, maybe just don't.
Yeah. Just
like, it really
if you're gonna
doesn't
Netflix
contribute anything
someone,
to the MCU.
Yeah, no, it's a waste of time. Absolute waste of time.
And then, like, even, we'll go pretty spoilery here with the post-credit scene. Like, they tried to tie it into... okay. Well...
I left. I need to get out of there.
Yep. The post-credit scene really, really tries to tie this into the MCU and No Way Home with the multiverse situation with the purple, like, rift in the sky, and Vulture from last Spider-Man, not No Way Home, the one before that, Homecoming. They try to bring him, he comes into the Morbius universe and basically tries to team up with Morbius to establish the Sinister Six. But yeah, it was just a terrible post-credit scene. I was like, even this post-credit scene is not worth me waiting around for.
Yeah.
What are they doing?
Yeah, hectic. Okay, I'm glad it is. I need to go. Like, I was like, I'm over this. I'm done. So, you know.
What did you think of the visual effects as well, like the CG of Morbius running and moving fast, and the weird, creepy echolocation, gross ear thing?
I wasn't really blown away by it at all. Like, there was no... The only thing that blew me away was the fact that it ended so I could leave. But, yeah, I was like, it just baffled me. How can you go so strong from Spider-Man to that? But at least, like, I know because we said the MCU, but at least Sony made a lot of money on Spider-Man, so they're not going to be scarred for this one. But
yeah, like, and the way they made Morbius look when he went in, like, vampire mode, for me, they looked more like zombies than they did vampires. I was just like, no.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah,
it wasn't a good look. And then when the two vampires are fighting and moving around really quickly, they didn't really add the color flares to the, like, smoky effect until sort of later in the movie. So in that first little part, it's kind of just like two black blurs fighting each other. And I was like, I don't know who's who. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be looking at or making out. So I was like, whatever. And all the slow motion effects.
Yeah, didn't feel like it was the quality of something that was filmed in the past couple of years. It felt like it's something from like the 2010s. Like, it's just like they've gone back in time, or we're in a multiverse at the moment where they don't have good production and CG. Like, it really was, everything was just a mess.
Yep. Yeah, and even the plot, like, the plot it felt very thin, and like we said, they just hit the key points without fleshing anything out. Like, he goes to get a Nobel Prize and he travels all the way to the ceremony just to turn it down on the stage. It's like, you're a bit of a jerk. Like, why am I supposed to like you now? When he finally does do the gene splicing, for some reason they have to go and do it in international waters because you can't do that on land apparently. And then, did you see what it said when he went on the boat too? Like, it didn't say like a random location in the middle of Pacific Ocean. All it said was international waters.
Yeah.
Like, oh, let's be even more bland and generic.
Yeah. It's like they just didn't care. They was like, nah, editing, nah, we just need to get this out. Like, you could have picked somewhere, but no, just international waters. Like,
And, like, he doesn't get all his powers instantly either, so he jumps off that boat, but he can't fly yet, so he had to have swum back to land. I was just like, what? Like, he doesn't know how to fly yet, so he just swam like 17 miles.
Well, some people run marathons, some people swim marathons, so that's what he probably wanted to do, you know?
Yeah, true. And the cops, casting for those cops, what are they doing?
I just think the whole movie is what are they doing? Like, I would be very surprised if they do a follow-up for this, or like if Jared Leto ever works in a superhero role ever again, because he's,
Yeah, Joker bad, Morbius bad.
Yeah. Come on, complete the hat trick. Just do something else.
But yeah, Tyrese Gibson as one of the cops, I was like, what? Like, he doesn't strike me as an FBI agent, and watching him, he kind of just like doesn't care either. And then the scene where they confront Morbius as he's leaving his facility, like, did you notice the bad vocal dubbing on that as well?
Yeah, actually, I didn't know if there was like, I was listening to that and I was like, this is not right. It's a bit off. And I was like, yeah,
what he says does not match what his mouth says.
Yeah,
like I assume the original line. I think the original line was, "Your synthetic blood saved my life," but then they changed it so it fits more with the character that he plays, Simon Stroud, who's apparently like a mercenary who lost his arm in the war and then gets given like a big crazy superhero arm, basically, kind of like Winter Soldier-esque. So then they changed the line to sort of convey that by him saying, "Your blood saved my arm." But instead of reshooting it, they just dubbed it.
It's like, very important.
It doesn't match at all. Like, change the camera angle, cut to Morbius's face. Like, don't show the guy saying it when he's not saying that word.
You should be a film producer.
It's like, I was just watching him like, that doesn't match. What the?
Yeah.
And especially like with like us, we've watched that Dark, the German, was it Dark?
Yeah, Dark, yeah.
That German show.
Great
like
show.
You notice when you watch something like that in the native language, you notice when the voice doesn't match the mouth.
Yeah.
So seeing it on a big movie was kind of just very strange.
Yeah, so odd. Like, oh well. At least we've got through it now, got some content for the potty, and we never have to think about this again.
I was hoping that they would tie in with Blade as well.
Yeah.
Considering as they have announced a Marvel Blade movie, but I think Marvel maybe saw how bad this was going to be from the early screening little bits that they were getting and was like, you don't get to touch Blade because if you ruin him, we have a massive uphill battle to fix him later.
Yeah, of course.
So I think that's why his cameo is now at the end of Eternals, in the Eternals post-credit. Yeah,
okay. That makes sense.
Like, no. But then they put him in a crap movie anyway.
Yeah. Oh, Marvel, they're a bit hot and cold at the moment as well. If they ruin Doctor Strange, I'm getting my Marvel tattoo. No, I'm not that extreme. But if they ruin Doctor Strange, they won't. They'll nail it.
I hope so. Because, the last couple, Spider-Man, good. Morbius, bad. Eternals, pretty bad.
Yeah.
And Eternals was MCU proper too, so that's concerning.
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah. Oh, well, hopefully the next time we see vampires in MCU, it's Blade and they're good.
Yeah.
Because I loved the original Blade movies.
Yeah. Blade, I think that was one of the first, like, Marvel movies I was exposed to. I like, obviously, besides like the Spider-Man, but like, I love them. So they better not ruin that either, or I'll be off them.
I remember like watching Blade and not realizing it was a Marvel movie for ages, and then I went back and rewatched and I was like, oh wait, these are Marvel movies? Whoa.
Yeah.
Ahead of the game.
But it was like, remember the original Daredevil though with Ben Affleck? That was bloody horrible.
True. But the good Daredevil is now on Disney Plus, so at least you can watch that.
Oh, I hope they do some more stuff with that. I love that. Surely they will after Spider-Man. Like, they have to.
I suspect at some point, maybe the next wave, we're getting a proper Daredevil movie in the MCU, or like you said, a continuation of the show. Now that they've taken the license back from Netflix, so it's under the Disney banner. Like, Why not put out a Daredevil show on Disney Plus?
Yeah, and it needs to have the same actor because he is incredible. Like Charlie Cox, you would think that he's like blind. He absolutely nails that role. So they need to keep him. Or
Yeah, especially now when they're doing the Marvel TV shows and they're kind of having either on Disney Plus, it's either a Star Wars month or a Marvel month with their TV shows. Like they seem to be alternating. So like they need characters and they need shows to fill up that slate continually. So why not do a Daredevil one in one of those seasons? Because Daredevil, I think, definitely was the best of the Netflix Marvel shows.
Yeah, Daredevil was my favorite. I like Luke Cage. Actually, Jessica Jones was my second favorite, and then Luke Cage was good. Iron Fist, you can just completely forget about. And then when they were all together, that was pretty good as well. But they were great shows. I remember when they first came out, I was like frothing.
Yeah, Punisher was good as well.
Oh yeah, Punisher. Yeah,
Daredevil, Punisher, and Jessica Jones were great. And the others, I was kind of just like,
yeah,
whatever. Luke Cage was just cool for the soundtrack.
Oh yeah, and I didn't realize till the end of Luke Cage that every single episode was named after a Gang Starr song, and who are like my favorite rap group from New York. And like by the end of it, I was like, oh yeah, like because they all look familiar. And then I just realized that at the end, and I was like, you're a bad fan, Jackson. You are a bad fan.
terrible fan. So yeah, that's Morbius. Don't go out of your way.
Yeah.
If you get free tickets, maybe give them away. I wish I had.
I wish I had. That you don't like. Yeah.
And now a quick word from our sponsors. First up is Decorate and Dance. For them, life is a party. With the world reopening and parties now becoming much more viable, if you're hosting a party, then all of the ingredients you need for a good time start with the 3 Ds. Design, decorate, and dance. You can't have a party without a theme, design, balloons, florals, and decorations, and some good tunes, dancing. The team over at Decorate and Dance can provide it all. Specializing in kids' parties, adult parties, hens nights, baby showers, corporate events, and weddings, Decorate and Dance are your one-stop shop. Book a designer, decorations, and a DJ for your party to be remembered at www.decorateanddance.com.au. Next up is LF9 Designs. Are you in need of a new logo, event posters, Twitch overlays or emotes, or perhaps even merchandise designs? Look no further than LF9 Design for all of your graphic design needs. The team at LF9 Design can create anything that you need to suit all styles. Check them out on Instagram at LF9 Design. Maison de Femmes create romantic, handmade, gold-filled jewelry for lovers and dreamers. Each piece is handmade and personally shipped by Jess Kumanovsky of Australia. If you are looking for an amazing and unique piece for a loved one, then look no further than Maison de Femmes. Maison de Femmes can be found online at maisondefemmes.com. That's MaisonDefemmes.com. And finally, Tegan Tag Photography. If you're ready for something a little different, ready to stray from the path of a traditional photo session, then get in touch with Tegan Tag Photography. Tegan specializes in water photography, family photo sessions, maternity shoots, and any type of photography incorporating Mother Nature. Bookings with Tegan can be made online at tegantag.com.au. That's www.tegantagg.com.au. So like we were just talking about, Disney Marvel TV shows. Their latest has just dropped, Moon Knight, starring Oscar Isaacs. We're, one episode in of a 6-episode season? What did you think of that opening episode?
Oh, sorry. I just saw something. I enjoyed it. Like, I really like Ethan Hawke as an actor as well. So I'm quite partial. Like, I think with all Marvel shows, it's one of those things that's going to build, and you're just going to like build towards the end, like the final episode of it all. So I'm kind of like not putting all my eggs in the basket just yet because I know what they're like. But I was reading about it that there was like one scene that the directors was really like fought to keep from being cut. So like I really feel like the director's getting really a lot of creative direction with it and trust with what he wants to do. So sorry, I just got an email from work. I think it's great. And I was looking on Rotten Tomatoes, it's got 87%, so it's been positively received as well. So
Yep. Yeah, this is another one where I went in with zero expectation or prior knowledge of the character. So I was like, okay, let's jump along for the ride. And I think it's almost an hour, and it went by super quick. Like I didn't feel like it was dragging at all. But yeah, like you said, it's the Marvel TV shows. They're 6 episodes, and I don't really think you can judge them. They're hard to judge on an individual episode by episode basis, I think. Like you kind of do need to see them as this is essentially a 6-hour movie broken up into 6 parts. So you kind of have to wait until you get that full picture to give it a true recommendation. But from that first episode, I really enjoyed it. My one criticism is the sloppy and like budget looking CG.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
The cars in that chase scene, what were they thinking? They look so bad.
Yeah. I hopefully this is not the case for the whole show, but obviously also when you first got a first episode, you want to start strong. So I don't really know why they do want to put a bit of extra budget in trying to get like the CG right, but they're Marvel. There's always a method to their madness, Morbius aside.
Yeah, like the cars looked bad. The log, I think, was the most egregious thing when the log flies across the screen and takes out the car. I was like, oh wow, that didn't look real at all. That looked worse than sort of video game CG at points.
Yeah. Back to the 2010s.
Mm-hmm. And what did you sort of think of the Moon Knight, Mark Spector, Stephen Grant character?
I like it. I think Oscar Isaac, the Moon Knight character, is another actor that I'm drawn to as well. Who have liked his work, whatever. So I think there's a lot of potential with this, like with the whole, I guess the whole ensemble cast as well. So I'm excited to see where he takes it over the next 6 episodes. But as you said, it's a type of show you've got to wait till the end of it, and then you can look back and see how the characters develop and whatnot. So
yep, yeah, I think there's a lot of potential with the sort of the way the character is, with the kind of split personalities and memory loss and things like that. Like I think there's so much cool stuff they can do, and it allows him to just, hey, we need him to be like this for this episode, so they can, and it's not overly strange. What else did we get?
I can relate to this. I can relate to the split personalities a lot. DJ, run, two complete polar opposites.
Yeah. But do you have to chain yourself to your own bed with a ring of sand around it so you don't just disappear at times?
Sometimes, yes, actually. I need to chain myself to my chair to make sure I do work and don't get distracted. So, yeah, I can relate, you know.
And we were talking about Venom before. The voice in his head reminded me so much of the Venom Tom Hardy dynamic, where they're kind of talking to each other and just being smartasses to each other, basically.
Once again, me talking to my own self as a smartass as well. So yeah, I really feel related to this character. I'm excited to see how we develop together over the next 5 episodes.
Yep, I like the look of the costume as well. Like normally with these Marvel shows, it's building up the 6 episodes to the point where they finally get their final costume. This one just gave it to us in the first episode. I was like, that's cool. That's different.
Yeah.
What did you think of Oscar Isaac's British accent?
I've heard better British accents, and I've heard better British people doing American accents, but I wasn't 100% convinced, to be honest, if I'm being a bit critical.
Yeah, it was
How
a
about
bit.
yourself?
It was a bit funky, but then there was also moments where I was like,
Yeah.
"Wait, is he like Tom Holland? Is he British?" And I don't realize.
Yeah, no,
Like there was a
he's
couple of
definitely,
sentences where I was like, "Maybe."
yeah, he's definitely American. Yeah, I could kind of tell. But it's funny. There's an episode of Seinfeld where there's like this American actor and he's speaking, and then he just quickly speaks like two sentences in British, and then he goes back to American. So like, I always love seeing like actors. Well done on putting on these accents because I can't do them. But yeah,
Yeah, but yeah, like Tom Holland is one where I'm like, when he then does interviews and just talks in his regular accent, I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, he's
yeah,
British.
yeah, yeah. And
Crazy.
Mr. Hemsworth as well. You got to give him props for his accents.
Yeah, true.
I was watching a video the other day, and he tried Iron Brew, and the lady was like, "You have to speak in a Scottish accent as soon as you've tried this drink." And he started speaking, and you'd think that he's Scottish. Like his vocal range is just mental. Like, and this was after having like a fizzy drink, and he just started speaking like Scotsman. So
Wow. When you're talking about people that like break their accent, that made me think of, remember there was a segment on, I think it was on Raw, where Triple H calls out Kofi Kingston, because when Kofi first debuted, he was a Jamaican.
Oh, yeah, I know that.
So he had a Jamaican accent.
Yeah.
And then they're teaming up for Survivor Series or something. And Kofi cuts this promo in his regular American accent, and Triple H just stops mid-promo and goes, wait, I got a problem. Aren't you Jamaican? And everyone's like, no, it's fine. So that was a funny moment. Ethan Hawke. That's an interesting character in Moon Knight.
Yeah, love him. I think that this is one of the main reasons I was drawn in, and it's a very interesting character. And this is my favorite so far.
I think he's going to be a very cool bad guy. Like just the opening sequence where we're introduced to him and he's like smashing up glass to put in his sandals. I'm like, you are a crazy messed up evil dude.
Yeah. Big time.
And then later when he walks in, you can hear the glass crunching in his shoes as he's walking. I'm like,
it's a nice little touch. I noticed that. I was like, this is good. Like, at least this is better than the car scene. But yeah, no, he's going to. I think he's just going to go crazy in the rest of this show, and he's just going to really F people up.
Yeah, and yeah, like I saw an interview. He said he based the character on David Koresh, the cult leader that was part of the Waco siege. So like this is going to be a pretty hectic character, I think. Like this show feels like it's going to be very like dark and horror leaning rather than fun, happy-go-lucky action Marvel show.
Yeah, of course.
And violent. There's some pretty violent moments in this show as well. Like, oof. I'm keen to see Marvel sort of go down this route more, like we got with Punisher and Daredevil, where they are allowed to be a bit more gruesome and violent, whereas MCU proper have kind of just been very PG, appeal to the largest
very
audience
funny,
possible.
like
I think that's all we can say. Like until we get the next 5 episodes, it's hard to give a solid rating. But from now, I'm all in. I'm ready to see the next 5.
Yeah, we'll have to discuss this in a month's time after. I assume we're going to talk about Doctor Strange because it's out in a month. So.
Yep. Yeah. No, I imagine this is going to tie into Doctor Strange. So.
Yeah.
Next episode will be Doctor Strange. Wrap this one up as well.
Yeah. I want to thank you for something. Actually, give me a second.
Oh.
So I got a package the other day in the mail.
Oh yeah, it came.
Cool ass shirt. Yeah.
Sweet. It finally came.
I completely. Awesome. I was like, oh. I saw like halfway through the thing, you're wearing your top. I was like, oh, stupid Jaxon, should have worn this. But yeah. Next time.
Yes. I'm glad you got it. I was worried that it just disappeared in the mail.
No. Thanks for that. Yeah, it's great.
Awesome. What are your sort of predictions for Doctor Strange? Do you think we get the X-Men?
Bro, I hope so. I think we will. I think we'll definitely get the X-Men. I reckon someone's going to die. Like someone big might die. I think I reckon Wanda might die. That's my call. That's my big bold prediction for it.
Wow, that's a big call.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm based on the trailer where we got the back of Patrick Stewart's head.
Yeah.
I think X-Men are a shoe-in. Fantastic Four are probably a pretty likely option because I'm pretty sure there's a Fantastic Four movie in the works for further down the line.
Yeah.
Blade I wouldn't be against. I wonder if we get Robert Downey Jr. back, or do we just get alternate universe Iron Man played by Tom Cruise, which is the rumor.
Yeah. I think Robert Downey Jr. is probably like done with it all. So yeah, like Tom Cruise is that. Oh, that'd be so good.
Like, there's so many questions going into this movie where I'm just like, I don't know what we're gonna get, but I'm keen to see what craziness comes through those multiverse rifts.
Yeah, you're not going to see, like, if you look it up on IMDb or like Google, you're not going to see like all the actors in it because they won't want to give it away, like what we had with Toby and Spider-Man. But yeah,
I think they're going to go pretty crazy on this one and just be like, here's 2 Iron Men, here's 3 Spider-Men. Like, we're just going to go nuts. And that's the fun part with this movie. Like, they could do anything because they've established that there are all these different versions of these characters. So who cares what we bring out? So let's go nuts.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Have they announced how long that movie is? Like, I'm scared. I think this could be a 3-hour epic.
Oh no, I'm just on Google now and it says 2 hours and 6 minutes, which is kind of disappointing.
That seems short for the amount of stuff that they could squeeze into this movie.
Unless I'm hoping it's wrong, but I don't know, like, this might have been up. They might have changed it a bit from when Spider-Man came out because it was originally supposed to come out ages ago. Well, like, they started working on it, like, I don't know, 2018 or something. So it might have changed.
Yeah, I think it was.
Or maybe.
I think it was supposed to come out before Spider-Man.
Yeah. But I think with the way they went with Spider-Man, they've kind of changed it around. So hopefully it's longer than 2 hours.
Yeah. Oh, we'll find out in 5 weeks or 4 weeks, whatever it is.
Yeah. Start of May.
Oh. All right. So good luck with the marathon.
Thank you.
For people that are preparing, like yourself, what would you recommend they watch in the lead up to marathon prep? Top recommendation for the week out of these 2. I think it's pretty obvious which one we're gonna say.
If you want to get a good night's sleep, watch Morbius. But if you want to watch a good show, check out Moon Knight.
Yep, 100% agree. Alrighty, thank you everyone for listening to the commentary booth. If you enjoyed the show, please remember to rate, review, and subscribe on podcast services and on YouTube. You can buy that shirt on wrestlermerch.com. You can follow Jaxon on TikTok at Jax_Carr. And you can follow me on social media at JamieAppsMedia and at Pario Magazine. The Commentary Booth is a fan-funded production of Jamie Apps Media. You can support the podcast alongside our magazine, Pario Magazine, on Patreon at patreon.com/JamieAppsMedia. The following people supported at the community support group level or higher, and you cannot fathom how incredibly appreciative we are for their support. Brian and June Hart, Blake Robinson, Rena Renee, Courtney Paulson, Darren Hatcliffe, Jaxon Carr, and Tracy Apps.